have everyone come to order here. Let me call to the meeting to order of the oldest Lions Club in the world. And it's always my pleasure to say those words. I'm Rudy Munguia, the president for our Austin Founder Lions Club. And let me ask Leonor if you would review us about Zoom procedures, please.
Sure. Hi. Well, hi, hello, everybody. My name is Leonor, and I'll be the person who will probably mute you and unmute you as I go. I've muted pretty much everybody. Only the speaker is unmuted. You have the ability of unmuting yourself. We just try and keep it this way so that it is as low background noise as possible. But when it comes time for questions or anything, or any interactions, you can unmute yourself and go ahead and speak. Other than that, we have the chat. Let's try and stay away from the chat and sidebarring over there. Just for any specific information that you might need, and you might also put on there if you need my assistance. I'll be checking it as I go. Other than that, it's all good. Back to you, Rudy.
All right, thank you. Before we get into the pledge, I want to make this an open invitation to those that would like to lead the pledge in our coming meetings, to let me know in some way, either through the chat or let Leonor know, and I'll get the information that way. But we're opening that up for someone that would lead us in the pledge in the coming weeks, and we'll go that way. And for today, I'm not sure if Sid received my email, but let's go ahead and stand. And Sid, if I'm going to ask if you'll be ready to lead us in the pledge next week. But for today, I'll lead it. And let me, there we go. If everyone will stand as you're able, and we'll begin with a pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now the Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Yeehaw!
Thank you. Yeehaw. Thank you. All right, here we go. Let's see. And I believe for our guest today, let me go back to Alan Ford. And Alan, you were commenting on your guest. Can you introduce your guest to everyone, please?
You caught me with my mouth full again. We have a lunch meeting. Anyway, okay, yeah, my guest today is Dick Roney, longtime Austinite, builder, developer, and now chairman of the Travis Austin Recovery Group, which is the long-term disaster recovery organization that handles helping people rebuild after the floods that we seem to be getting on an almost annual basis, except for maybe this year. Anyway, please welcome Dick.
All right, thank you. We welcome our guest. Any other guests?
Not that I see, Rudy.
All right, thank you so much. Well, we're always pleased to have guests, and so we would say a special welcome. All right, for announcements, let me ask Leonor's help on if she can put up some photos. This past Friday, our Lions Club participated in a service project at Meals on Wheels. And there were some photos, I believe. And Leonor, if you can share those, and if you would also, I was not able to attend. Oh, well, there's a good looking group. There we go. Thank you. Yeah, well, thank you to all of those that are shown in the photo and that participated. There's a little bit of an action shot, kind of helping load the vehicles with drivers. And
we had the participation of Ken Crone, so that was a plus.
Wow.
Oh, well, that's a double plus. Yeah.
And Craig Estes as well.
Okay. Okay. Oh, I see. There's Craig and Ken
Yeah,
wearing their mask.
and Linda turning her back towards, but
Yes.
she's
And I
the
see
one
Linda
reading. Yeah.
getting information from the driver. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, thank you very much for those that participated, and just wanted to say thank you by way of those photos. And now we're going to move on to a different type of photo, because also last Thursday and Friday, some special plaques were presented to ophthalmologist organizations and vision related organizations here in Austin that helped our Lions Club with helping those individuals that needed vision help. So here you see the plaque, in this case, being presented to Dr. Jack Pierce, and plaques were presented to Central Health as well. This gentleman is a CEO at Central Health, and Sam Reese there on your right is the key to all this. Sam opened the doors, knocked on doors, and made a lot of the help that was available. There's Rachel Reed, Lion Rachel Reed, receiving a plaque as well. She is the director of the ophthalmologist organization. And this is Dr. David Brent. So those are some photos of the Lions Club, our Lions Club, saying thank you and showing appreciation through the presentation of these plaques. So thank you all to everyone that participated. I won't name everyone, but we're all appreciative of everyone's help. All right, and then one more visual that we want to show, and that is on the progress on how we're doing on the roses.
Oh, Cecilia Burke.
We have one more week to go, as we've been announcing that the 21st will be the last day to take orders. And so here is a chart showing the progress of where we are. And I believe we are at 145 total roses, total dozens of roses sold. And our goal is 200. So it's time to, we're in the last quarter and the last lap of the race, and this is where those that are in the sport know how to kick it into gear. So I'm trusting that we are at that level, and that we need to kind of find that extra stamina. So thank you very much to those that have helped. And we'll continue selling our roses, and we just have until this coming week to do that. Okay.
Can I just interrupt a little bit? I'm sorry. On the Meals on Wheels that we did the loading, we had the help as well of two of South Austin Lions, Lion Liz and Lion Polly, if I'm not mistaken.
I see.
They
Okay. Yes,
as well.
I neglected to mention that. So thank you for adding that part of it, and our thank you to their participation.
And Lion Lim wants to say something, I believe.
Okay.
Yes, I've just noticed that John Brewer has joined us as my guest today. John has been a Lion from New Mexico and from Dripping Springs in the past. He does live in Dripping Springs, so he has just joined us. All
right. And yes, I believe you have joined us in the past, and we've always enjoyed your being our visitor, our guest, and then as well today. So thank you for joining us. Any other guests? All right, thank you for calling that to my attention. And so let's see. Oh, I have this announcement. Some of you may know that Mark Hastings had knee surgery. He may have announced it at the last meeting. His knee surgery was yesterday. Talked with him this morning. The surgery went well, he tells me. He is now home resting and is waiting for a schedule for his therapy and his rehab. So our best goes out to Mark as he recovers from his knee surgery, as well as to anyone to all of our Lions that may be having health issues at this time. All right. And Ann, I'm going to ask you for your announcement concerning the NFL partnership with the Lions.
Okay, thank you, Rudy. This is a really exciting opportunity that we have. As everyone knows, we partner with the NFL Alumni Association, the Austin chapter, on our annual Sporting Clay fundraiser. And this fall, the local chapter is partnering with the Horn, which is a FM radio station, and they're doing Monday Night Football. And so this Monday night, they are going to profile our club. They have each week been profiling a group that they work with, and it's going to be focused on us on Monday night, and it'll be live streamed on Facebook, or you can listen on the Horn. There will be promos this week on Facebook and Twitter, and we're going to be able to have a video, or we're going to take a PowerPoint and just put it on a continuous loop, and that's going to kind of be our video, but of showing what our club does. Plus, this is going to be a great opportunity for us to promote Rose Day. And so I want to let you know that we have this great opportunity, and that we will be sending you a link. It may be later this week, or it could be as late as Monday, but we will send you a link. So if you want to participate Monday night, Bill Bradley is going to be interviewed during the program. So, you know, you might have some questions you want to submit for him, but it's a great opportunity to get some visibility for our club and to promote our Rose Day sales.
All right. Well, thank you. That is a great opportunity. And some of you will know that the NFL has been a great partner when we have done our clay shoot. And now they are inviting us, or making this opportunity available to us, and we can promote not only our club, but our rose sales. So, Ann, thank you very much for sharing that information. All right, we're going to move on to birthdays, and we finally have birthdays. We've had a little, I guess, a little spot of 2 or 3 weeks without birthdays, but we're going to celebrate or send our birthday greetings to Michael Cohen. Michael is having a birthday on October 17th, and sharing that day with Michael, and a birthday on the same day is Suzanne Niffler. So, so happy birthday to our 2 Lions that are having their birthday on October the 17th. All right. And now we are at that part of the agenda where JP puts on his auctioneer gear. And so if you're ready, JP, let me ask for your help at this time.
Well, I want to make clear to everybody that the roses that we will deliver will not be nearly as fresh and long lasting as the roses that are behind Rudy right now.
Yeah.
But Robert has assured me that we'll have a fresh supply. Yeah, Rudy, you've really kept those roses in good shape. I need to talk to you about your nurturing qualities.
I wish I had a secret, but anyway, we can talk later.
All right. Well, we do have a dozen, I assume. Is Robert on the scene anywhere? There he is. Okay. He's moving his mouth, so I'm assuming that means we got roses. So we will start with a bid of $5. Who'll give me 5? And I got a big screen here. Can't see everybody. So
We got
Leonore,
John Niefler.
there's John 5. And a 10. Anybody give me 10? Need 10. 10.
We got Steve
Riley,
or
10,
Greg
15,
Thompson.
15. Judy Saul 20. 20. I need 20. Who'll give me 20? Raise your hand, somebody.
John
$20.
Niefler.
Robert and John Niefler 25. Steve Riley 30. All in 30. Anybody give me 35? We're giving 35. Dick Peroni, you can bid too. We'll
We got John
your-
for 35.
I have for 35 from John Niefler. 35, give me 40. Anybody give me 40? Looking for 40? Anybody give me 40? Raise a hand. Need 40? There's 40 from Chuck. Chuck, did you give those to Sid last week or did you give them to somebody else? Okay. I didn't want to create any conflict. I got 40 from Chuck. 40 from Chuck. Anybody give me 45? I need 45. 45, John Niefler. Give me 50. Anybody 50? I got 45 from John. Anybody 50? Anybody 50? We're going to close it out. Got 45 from John. He can afford twice that much, but we'll sell it to him for 45. Got it, John. Thank you.
Well, again, thank you, JP, for helping us with the roast and making it fun as we share those beautiful roses with those that are having their bids recognized. So we are now moving on to our program, and our program today is well, let me ask Ann. She will be doing our program, and I'll be helping with that in just a little bit. But Ann, let me give you the microphone, and you take it from here.
Okay. I'm just calling up my PowerPoint. Just give me 1 second. Okay.
And John was saying that it's Sally's birthday this week, so I'm betting those roses are gonna go to Sally.
That's neat. Okay, can everyone see the PowerPoint? Yes? Okay. Well, today I'm going to share with you the results of our membership survey that we conducted back in June. And then several of us are going to talk to you about our experience with the Lions USA Canada Forum, which was held virtually about 2 weeks ago. But we're going to start with a little short video that was played during the USA Canada Forum. So Leonore will do that first video, and I'm going to stop sharing. Here we got the sound. Oh, thank you, Leonore, for playing that for us. Wasn't that a great video? I think it's so upbeat, and I think we should all pat ourselves on the back for our contributions to that impressive number of people that were served last year. And I don't know about you, but when I saw it, it was like, it just made me think, wow, we've just got to find a way to do more during this pandemic. So it was really inspiring to me, and I hope it was to you too. Let's see, I'm going to go to the next slide if I can figure this out. Let's see, did that work? No, there we go. Okay. I'm going to talk about the membership survey. And first off, I want to say thank you.
Sorry, I think you're gonna need to open it a little bit bigger because we only see it cuts off at half of our logo. So we don't see the bottom part.
Okay, so how do I do that, Leonore?
If you don't need your notes, then just click on the slide presentation. If you go to the bottom right,
Does that help?
no, we can still just see the top.
Okay. Well, I can't,
Just hit the slide presentation and we should be good.
okay, wait just a minute. Slideshow?
Yes,
Okay, all right.
perfect.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, well, first off, thank you to everyone who participated. We did the survey in June of this year, and we had really comparable participation to the participation we had in February of 2019. This year, we actually had one more person take the survey. So we ended up at 27.4% for this year. And I think that that's a good representation. That's about 25% of our membership. In the information you received with the link for today's program, there is a link to the full results of the membership survey. They are posted on our website. Today, I'm just going to go over some of the highlights, but I do encourage you to go and look at the entire report. The open-ended questions, you would enjoy probably reading some of those comments. And so anyway, I want to encourage you to do that. I also want to let you know that the survey that we used this year, this June, it was the same questionnaire we used in February of 2019, although we did add some questions dealing with our Zoom meetings, and we also included the new service projects and the new fundraising activities that we implemented since February of 2019. But otherwise, it was the same survey. So I think it's fair for us to compare the results from one to the next. The survey, as I said, we had a good representation of our members. You can certainly see there the gender breakdown, the age group breakdown, and I think that sort of is reflective of the composition of our membership. I would point out in the length of service, you see we have almost 27% of respondents had been a member for 1 to 3 years, and we had 34.6% more than 20 years, none in the 16 to 20 years. So obviously that part of our membership is underrepresented, and probably the newer members are a little bit overrepresented. But otherwise, I think it's a fairly good reflection of the composition of our membership in general. The good news, I think, is there is a lot of good news to take away from our survey. And my takeaway is that our member respondents are very satisfied with the club, and we appear to be focused on the right things, and people enjoy being members. This slide shows you one of our questions dealt with the primary reason they attend the weekly meetings, and good programs came in at 78%. So I want to give a shout out to Mac Ragsdale and the members of the program committee for doing an outstanding job. They bring us tremendous speakers and topics each week, and I think that's why we get such good participation. And then we ask a question, what is the secondary reason for you attending the weekly meetings, and a strong second, or it was 30% say it's to support my club. And I think we found that 50% of the respondents say they attend 4 meetings per month, which is really great that half of the respondents are tuning in each week. And we also learned there's strong satisfaction with the time and day of the week that we meet, and for the location of our in-person meetings. And we also got very positive feedback about the Zoom meetings. In terms of the in-person meetings, the quality of the food was not rated terribly high, but I think that's an ongoing challenge that we face. There was also strong support for the updated meeting format, which we used in 2019, 2020. And in the open-ended questions, several people asked us to bring back the member profiles, which we stopped when we originally moved to Zoom. And I'm really glad that Rudy has brought those back. I'm also very pleased that 70%, almost 70%, 69% of the respondents said they feel very well informed about what's going on in our club. And that is an increase from 52% in 2019. And since February of 2019, we have instituted our quarterly club newsletter and the periodic President's Message, which I started when the pandemic began back in March, and which Rudy is continuing. Then we had a series of questions that ask about our service and fundraising activities, and respondents support what the club is doing. Our vision screening activities were rated the highest, and that includes providing eye exams and glasses for those in need. Then the next level of support was for Texas Lions Camp. When we were asking about specific activities, what members participated in, as you might expect, vision screening had the most participation. Of our 3 fundraisers, the Sporting Clay Tournament had the most participation by respondents, followed by Casino Night. In the open-ended comments in that section, a couple of people requested a service project dealing with the environmental area, and we had one person suggest doing more with diabetes and childhood cancer. We did have 3 people mention problems with how and when we scheduled the service projects, because they had conflicts due to work, to family commitments, or to other leisure time activities. But the takeaway, I think, is that in general, we can feel pretty good that we're providing relevant and appropriate services, and there is strong support for the fundraisers that we do. I thought one of the great things that we learned in the survey is that 69% of the respondents say that their club membership is extremely valuable. And that compares to 60% in 2019. So that's a good increase in the value that people perceive from their membership. That we ask an open-ended question: what could we do to enhance the value of your membership? And the top suggestions were for more hands-on service activities that make a difference.
And sorry to interrupt you. I'm seeing that the slides are not keeping up with your information. Maybe you're forgetting to pass the slide on.
Okay. I think I'm good right now, though.
Okay, sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyway, so 69% say they find their membership is of extreme value, is extremely valuable. And then we ask a question about why they joined the club. And again, this was very similar to the responses in 2019, but the top reason people joined was to serve the community. And we got at that in a couple of ways. One being, I want to support my local community, and another wanting to make a difference through community service. So our motto, "We serve," is definitely an attraction. Some of the suggestions from members in the open-ended questions about what we could do to improve the club or improve our activities or our fundraisers or whatever we were doing. These things you see there on the screen are some of the ones that came up. I think that, and I don't know that this is because of the pandemic, but you can see that there's a desire for more interaction, more socialization, more hands-on service. And I think that people are missing the opportunity to be together. And while Zoom is a wonderful way to connect with people, and I think we've been very good at adapting to Zoom, it's just no substitute for being there in person. One of the other comments that people made was that we should attract new, younger members, and we should bring more diversity to the club. And I will say that that sentiment is not unique to our membership. And those of you who attended the virtual Lions USA Canada Leadership Forum, you heard a lot about it. Those were two topics that got a lot of attention during that forum. And now we're going to share some of what we learned. But I think I'm going to stop right here for a moment and see if anybody has a question about the membership survey so far. I have some more details that I'm going to provide as we go through the rest of the presentation. But if anybody has a suggestion or a question right now, let's see if we have any. Leonora, let me know.
I don't see any hands up at the moment. And
okay, well then we'll move on. So the Lions USA Canada Forum, if you attended some or part of it, would you wave for your hand? And maybe Leonora, you can let us know how many people you see waving their hand out there.
okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4.
Okay, well, it was a great event. I have attended several in person, often with Patty Robinson, and she and I were looking forward to going to Louisville this year, and were disappointed when it had to be canceled. But this was the first time they've ever had a virtual forum, and I think they did a really great job, and they had some outstanding presentations. There were some relevant topics, great speakers, but I have to say in person is much better. Now, I think everyone knows this, but because of COVID, the LCI International Convention that was supposed to have occurred last July did not occur, and the board made the decision that the same officers would serve again for 2020, 2021. And so our President Jung Yul Choi from South Korea is serving his second year as our president. And the theme that he has selected for this year is United in Kindness and Diversity. And I think we can all agree that the world certainly needs kindness now more than ever. The two overarching themes of the forum dealt with examples of kindness and with membership. And I will play a little later in the presentation. We are going to have another video that Dr. Choi played for us. He gave a very good speech on Saturday and kicked off the conference in a really good way. There were many inspirational speakers and sessions, and I'm going to stop now and let Glenda Summers, our second vice president. I know Glenda participated in the forum, and she's going to share her perspective on the forum and tell us about the 2021 forum. And so I'll stop sharing my screen so that Glenda can be seen.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Well, I'm going to talk about the last speaker at the conference. His name was Stryker Corbin, and he's a motivational speaker and a hypnotist. And he was very thought-provoking. He started out by saying there are no negatives, only opportunities. I hadn't thought of it that way. I guess an example would be what you were discussing earlier is Zoom, how we have gone out and with the talented people in our organization, we have learned how to Zoom well. We're connecting to other people. I know that I've seen people while we're Zooming from our club that hadn't been able to attend some of our other meetings. So this is an opportunity to take what would be considered a negative and use it as an opportunity. I know people have been calling people on the phone. I've gone to the store to pick up some things for people. And I know people who are making masks. They're using this negative as an opportunity. So he's focusing on opportunities. He says the theme is know thyself. Recognize my uniqueness. What do I believe in and why? Does it feel loving and correct? What I'm doing, is it feeling loving and correct? He says, be independent and be skeptic. You know, as Ann had mentioned, the part of the theme of the kindness was one of the themes of the seminar. He says, treat people as though they matter. Find someone to appreciate and find something about someone. You know, it's easy to appreciate and compliment people we like, but what about people we don't particularly like? Find something about them that you can compliment them on, and compliment them several times. And you will find that they start treating you differently and they look at you differently. And when they look at you differently, then you're going to start looking at them differently. And maybe even you'll start liking them. He also talked about self-love. He said, self-love is the ability to let go of the past and focus on the present. We are working now for our future. I think that's the hardest thing for a lot of us, is letting go of the past. We always say, well, if I had done this, I hadn't done that, if only, if only, if only. He said, let go of the past and focus on the present, because we are working on our future now. I think that was very profound. He challenges us to go 48 hours or 2 days with no negative thoughts or fears. Go 48 hours with no negativity or fear. Stop negative thinking. Say, I am, I can change. He said, imagine people can hear your thoughts. Whether you believe you can or you can't. He says, imagine people can hear your thoughts. He said, be positive. Whether you believe you can or you cannot, you are right. Let's repeat that. At first it didn't make sense. Whether you believe you can or cannot, you are right. In other words, if you believe you can, you can. And if you believe you cannot, you cannot. So either way, you're right. He said, be kind, lead by example, kindness first. Be kind because it is the right thing to do. I encourage you to go online, go to Google and look up Stryker Corbin. It's S-T-R-I-K-E-R, Stryker Corbin, C-O-R-B-I-N, and read some of his testimonials. He has an app. There's all kinds of information on the web that you can look at and find more information about him. And if you went to the conference, if you signed up for the conference, you can also listen to him up to December the 24th. So that was Mr. Corbin. Did you want me to talk now about the Iowa Forum, or did you want to do that later?
No, you go ahead.
Okay. Well, I had lunch with Ann and Linda the other day, and I was talking about the Iowa Forum. And I had never, certainly wasn't on my bucket list to go to Des Moines, Iowa. Who in the world would want to go to Des Moines, Iowa? Well, after listening to their presentation, the Chamber of Commerce, I thought, I want to go. I want to go. This sounds like a fun place. The forum is a motivational type situation. It's a motivational, educational, talks about ways to retain members. But when they were talking about Des Moines, it was so funny. He said, the S's may be silent, but the lions will roar. S's are silent, but our city is buzzing. They have a state fair. They have a sculpture park. Looking at the sculpture park, I would go just to see the sculpture park. The sculptures are huge. Some of them look like they were 30 or 40 feet tall. They have art everywhere. They have a botanical garden. They have top of the art festivals, top art festivals on every corner. And they have an area called the Des Moines Art Route, where there's just art everywhere. They have a zoo. And they kept talking about all the interesting food that they have. I did not know that Des Moines was known for its butter, but it was butter everywhere. Butter, butter, butter on everything. So if you do go, you might want to drop a couple pounds before you go, because you're sure going to go pick them up when you go there. So you can go online and see at catchdesmoines.com. Oh, it's also the fastest growing metro in the Midwest. I am going to go to Des Moines, where the S's are silent, but the lions will roar. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Glenda. Okay, let me get back to my screen share. Okay, from current slide.
You need to do slide presentation again. Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, and there you can see the dates of the event in Des Moines, September 9th through 11th. And I'm with Glenda. I'm going. It sounds like a lot of fun. I want to talk to you about another topic that was discussed quite in depth during the leadership forum, and that is NAMI. And that stands for North American Membership Initiative. And this is being rolled out all throughout clubs in districts in North America this year. They did a pilot in certain areas of the Northern Hemisphere last year, and they developed a ton of new materials for membership, which are on the LCI website. And I've shared that with Mim. And so she's taking a look at some of those things. But you see there in the box, the Gary Fox, our district governor, his objectives for NAMI for our district this year. And the two parts that I want to really kind of hone in on for our club are number 2 and number 3. And our membership survey showed that our club desires more fellowship and socialization, and they want to do the hands-on service. So that's really number 3. And I think as this pandemic someday will end, we'll be able to do more of that. And our board is looking at some things that we can do even now during the pandemic. But let's look in number 2 there about revitalizing clubs with new members. And we're really lucky we have a dynamic membership chair in Mim Ruby. And I pointed out to Mim all of these new tools that have been developed. They have even created a membership growth event toolbox, which gives you a step-by-step guide to create a virtual event to try to recruit new members. So I think we've got some exciting times ahead. Also, at the, let me advance, I think that's, Yes, here we go. So at the forum, one of the things that I saw, they played an interview with our past LCI president, Gudrun Ingeldottir. I can't say her last name, Gudrun, from Iceland. And she talked about during her year as president, she really emphasized retaining members. And for her, she talked in this interview about what that meant. And for her, she was referring to the club experience. And she said that clubs need to have good meetings that members want to attend. And our survey certainly shows that we're doing that. So that's something positive that we've got going for us. She talked about the importance of involving new members in service activities and projects. And I know that all of our committee chairs and the board and other leaders are working to get our new members involved when they first come on board in our club. Gudrun also pointed out the importance of getting new members involved in decision making. And she emphasized the importance of strengthening friendships. And I think we saw that reflected in the survey, but it also dovetails with what Glenda was just saying about getting to know people. And when you do get to know them, you think about them differently, and you have a different attitude toward them. So we look forward to when we're able to do more of that socialization. And I do think it's wonderful that Rudy has brought back our member profiles, because that is another way we can all get to know each other. And then she also encouraged clubs to become more modern. And that was a point that echoed to me personally and was really covered in this presentation that I'm going to talk about next, which was led by past international director A.P. Singha from India. And his presentation was titled, Attracting and Retaining Great Lions Through Diversity. And he asked some questions that club members need to think about in relation to new member recruitment. And one of the questions was, is the club welcoming? And I'm happy to say that in our membership survey, the respondents overwhelmingly believe that Austin Founder Lions Club is welcoming. So I thought that was very positive. Then he said, does our club invite new ideas? Do we provide leadership opportunities for newer members? Do we respect different cultures and make space for their new ideas about service? Do we treat all members with respect? And that made me think about the 2019 membership survey, because in that February 2019 survey, we had some open-ended comments about our tail twisting. And some of the commenters pointed out that sometimes the jokes were inappropriate and insensitive by putting down women or groups of people. And so I do think we need to think about the image we present to visitors who hopefully are future members. And he urged everyone to put kindness first. He also recommended that we banish 2 phrases from our vocabulary. And you see the initials there on the screen, and I'm going to tell you what they mean. We've always done it that way. And we tried that and it didn't work. So he's saying those 2 phrases, they stifle input and participation, and they crush innovation. So let's try to keep, if we catch ourselves trying to say that, let's remember it. NAMI has identified some groups of or targeted audiences that they're recommending that clubs focus on to grow their membership. And I've listed 3 of them there that I think make a lot of sense for our club. One is women. women represent the fastest growing segment of Lions membership around the world. Around the world. Another group that I think is a lot of clubs are having success with is new retirees. These are people with skills and experience, and they have some spare time now, some more than others. And then diversity. Diverse populations can bring a new dimension to clubs, and they can provide new avenues for service. We've recently done some outreach to the Spanish-speaking community in Austin through our participation in Univision programming. And I'm hoping that over time we may see some results from that. The other thing that LCI is doing to try to help clubs grow their membership, the $35 entrance fee is waived through December the 31st. And for veterans who join clubs, the entrance fee is waived until June 30th of 2021. So we want to remember that and take advantage of it. Now I want to go back to those target groups and say just a little something about young people, because I think sometimes we think millennials. And we had during the forum, there was a whole presentation on millennials. And while our club has some assets that might be attractive to millennials in that they're looking to network and they're looking for mentors, and we certainly have that in our club, the way they think, their values and their priorities are totally different. And their communication styles are very different, and how they choose to spend their time is very different from our kind of club. So I think these other three groups probably make a lot more sense other than millennials for us. And here are some of the challenges that I think our club is focused on or needs to focus on right now. And certainly we're going to be working with our board to try to address some of that, and also our membership committee. Service remains the quality that sets Lions apart. And I know we're disappointed that we're not able to do our vision screening right now. This picture on the slide is from Alaska, and I saw this during the forum. There are some folks in Alaska that have figured out a way to build a dark tunnel so that they can conduct drive-through vision screenings for their community. We also heard some ideas about childhood cancer, things you can do even in this pandemic, things like writing cards to children who are in hospitals, or collecting blankets or caps or socks. So there are some service opportunities. And real quickly, I'm going to ask Leonore to play just that little snippet of a video that shows the vision screening device that a club has made. Okay, and this is made from PVC pipe. And again, it's just right there. The person remains in the car, and the screener is socially distanced from the person they're screening. So that's something we may be able to look at doing. Okay, thank you, Leonore. And now we're going to go to Rudy. Rudy listened to a session about diabetes. And so Rudy, I'm gonna put your slides up here and let you unmute yourself. Well, I'm gonna try to put your slide. There we go. Okay.
Okay, I think I'm unmuted.
Yes.
And Leonore or Ann, would you put before we get to this slide, can you get everybody on the screen again where we can see each other?
Okay, just a second. Okay.
Okay, yeah. Thank you. I did sit in on a session at the USA Canada Forum on diabetes, diabetes leads to blindness, I think, as most of us know. And that is a partnership as to how the Lions Club International is joining and partnering with the Diabetes Association. So the reason I wanted to see everybody, so everybody could see each other, is diabetes is something that unfortunately catches many of us. I have had my share of Bluebell ice cream, and the doctor says, no, no, no. And that is not happy news. But could you just show me a show of hands, anybody that has either pre-diabetes, diabetes, or has a family member that might have diabetes? Yeah. Yeah, that's about the right percentage. Thank you. Now, if I could go back to that visual, please. Some of you that were raising your hand may know more about this because my notes are taken from a presentation that was at the USA Canada Forum. And so here is a brief outline of what I'm going to cover here in the next 2 or 3 minutes. What is diabetes? What is pre-diabetes? How do you treat diabetes? And is there a cure for diabetes? So with more than 10% of our population affected with diabetes, it is important to be aware of the symptoms, the health risks, and preventive measures for this disease. And the Center for Research in the United States is in California. And the institute is called the City of Hope. Isn't that a great name? The City of Hope. And that is, like I said, in California, in Duarte, California. So looking at the first part here, what is diabetes? And if you could help me go on to the second visual, yeah, here. What is diabetes? Well, diabetes is a disease that occurs when your blood sugar is too high. Blood sugar is your main source of energy and comes from the food we eat. And an important part of that is the pancreas, and the pancreas producing insulin. Insulin helping, the pancreas is the organ that helps sugar get into our cells from the food we eat and providing energy to our bodies. And if the body doesn't have enough insulin, then it stays, the sugar stays in the blood and doesn't reach our cells, and we wind up a little bit low on energy. But an important part or a major part of diabetes is pre-diabetes. Pre-diabetes, and that is important because, as you will see on the visual, it is a stage where you can still reverse the disease and halt its progressions. 90% of diabetics have this type 2 diabetes, and I put my name under that category. I have pre-diabetes and I'm the type 2, but it's important, as it states there, about the opportunity is still there to do something about it, to follow your doctor's advice, and in regards to that, what are some things that we can do to help prevent the disease from getting any more serious? And that is things that are going to sound very common to us, and that is with exercise and diet. Exercise, diet, and with the doctor's help with medications. So with 90% of those that have diabetes are in the type 2 or pre-diabetic stage, the next question is, how many of these pre-diabetes folks know they have an illness or a problem? And studies show that 8 out of 10 with this prediabetes do not even know they have it. So eating and diet and exercise may not be as important if they are not aware of this. So, and one other thing, what are the symptoms? What symptoms might you experience if you do have this prediabetes? And that is vision. Vision gets blurry. You feel fatigued. You're constantly needing to go to the restroom to urinate. You feel thirsty, can't calm your thirst. You feel hungry even though you're eating, and you have tingling pains and numbness. And even though prediabetes and diabetes can be managed with medications, it is still advanced diabetes. Those with advanced diabetes suffer from blindness or end-stage kidney disease and even amputations. Those that have diabetes, most people that have diabetes do not die from diabetes. They die from heart disease or strokes, because the diabetes has that effect on your body. It weakens those organs. So, to conclude then, is there a cure for diabetes? And while there is no cure today, there is promise at this institute out in California that progress is being made. And the main thing to remember is to manage diabetes effectively, we need to manage our blood sugar levels. So in review, what is diabetes? It's a disease that occurs when your blood sugar is too high. And how do you control diabetes? Healthy, mind your weight, healthy weight, eating right, exercising, and medications. All right, that was a quick run through. And again, I apologize for kind of moving quickly through this. But if there is interest in knowing more about diabetes, that our club would be interested, that you'd be interested in helping our club move forward on this, I welcome your participation and your thoughts. All right, Ann, thank you so much. Let me give it back to you.
Okay, thank you, Rudy. Just as a reminder, we work with the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation, the Austin chapter. They partnered with us on Casino Night and Sporting Clay. They didn't do Casino Night, they did Sporting Clay. Anyway, they are involved with type 1 diabetes, which usually affects children, although in this day and age with obesity and other lifestyle factors, we're seeing adults get type 1, you're seeing kids get type 2, but JDRF is very involved in research, and most importantly, they help recruit children to attend Texas Lions Camp, where we serve probably 400 to 500 type 1 children each summer, and they learn how to manage their disease. So this is an area that Lions are very involved in. Thank you, Rudy. Okay, well, we're coming to the end. I just want to wrap it up by asking you, how will you serve? I want to encourage every member to participate in at least one service activity and one fundraising activity, and more is better. And right now, I want to encourage you to get involved in selling roses. This may be the only fundraiser we get to have this during this fiscal year for our club. And so we need to make this a big success. So contact your friends, your neighbors, and try to sell those roses. And then come and help pack and deliver on the 28th and 29th. And I also want to give a plug for this. It's really important when you do serve whatever you do, selling roses, working at the Meals on Wheels, or whatever you're doing, we need to report it. And Linda Locke is our service chair, and we just tell her how many hours we put in for the month, and she reports it to LCI. And that's really important because number one, our club can get some recognition in the district, but number two, our numbers go up to LCI. And you know, in the very beginning, I showed you the video that showed you all those people we served around the world. Well, our numbers get rolled up into those numbers. So we get to see the results of our work, which I think is fabulous. And now, Leonora, we're going to close with a really terrific video that President Choi shared with the forum attendees. And I hope you will be inspired to serve as I was.
As the world faces the challenges of the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, Lions recognize that kindness matters now more than ever. And Lions and Leos are finding ways to continue to serve our communities, including ordering food delivery for healthcare workers, holding story time for children online, and providing surgical masks to medical professionals and first responders. Empowering us to do more, Lions Clubs International Foundation has provided nearly $2.5 million in grant funding for COVID-19 relief. And that support continues to grow. For more than 100 years, in times of need, Lions always find a way to help those around them. And after we emerge from this, we will be stronger than ever. Visit lionsclubs.org to learn more.
Thank you, and I hope y'all enjoyed it.
All right, thank you, Ann, so much. Do appreciate it. It's great. It's great to kind of see what Lions at the big picture level are doing and on a global level. So we're a part of that, and yay, we're doing our part. So thank you so much, Ann. All right, for next week, our program, well, let's see, John, would you tell us about next week's program, please?
I will, yes. I will introduce Austin Buchan next week. He is the Chief Executive Officer of College Forward. College Forward is a nationally recognized organization that pairs recent college graduates with students to assist them to achieve their post-secondary education goals. College Forward serves a wide range of students, but largely they're academically able students who are minorities or economically disadvantaged or are first in their family college students. So I look forward to having you hear from Austin Buchan of College Forward next week. Thanks.
All right, thank you, John. And I saw on your chat you were reminding us about a special birthday this week, so happy birthday to Sally. All right. I neglected to announce that there is no board meeting today. We had that on the agenda, but there is no board meeting today. That has been postponed for 1 week, and it will be next Thursday after a regular meeting. Are there any other announcements or any good comments for the good of our club?
Not that I see. I just let you know that I just got another 5 dozen roses sold on the website. So
yeah. Okay, that should put us 5 more to 145. We're moving up. We're moving up. Thank you so much. Apologize that our meeting went over a little bit today, but thank you again to Ann and everyone that participated. Thank you for our visitors. And with having said that, we are now adjourned. Y'all have a good week.